Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to be filming this video. I've been thinking about it a lot and I've been kind of planning it out and what I want to say, so that is why this video hasn't come out yet. But I wanted to explain to you guys how I broke my nose and the nose surgery process that I went through and everything, like all the details that you would want to know if you ever are either debating on getting plastic surgery, a nose job, if you ever break your nose, which happened to me, but you have to go through pretty much the same things as getting a nose job. So I want to give you guys all the details about what happened to me and how I broke my nose. Last year in December, I broke my nose. I was a competitive cheerleader in college. We were practicing our routine for competition and a girl fell on my face. They always have like stories about that where they're always like, cheerleading is dangerous, it's the most dangerous sport, like people break their nose. And I was like, oh, okay, like I don't know, I just never felt scared for the sport and until I broke my nose. And then I was pretty much very cautious of what I did after that. But we were practicing and we were doing a stunt and I was a base and a girl fell down on my face and broke my nose. And it was just a really hard time. I'd never broken a bone, I've never gone through that much pain. But it was just, yeah, it was a very hard time to go through. That night I went to the hospital and it was not assuring because the hospital that I went to, I was in Kansas where my college was at and my family was in Indiana, so they were really far away and I couldn't, like I just didn't have the comfort of like going to your mom when something bad happens or, you know, just like all that. So it was just, I had my best friend, which was amazing. She was so helpful and like she's the one who really told me that I broke my nose. I was practicing the routine. I didn't realize that I broke my nose. I just thought that I got hit in the face, and she was the one to be like, coach, like she broke her nose, like you have to check it out. And I was like, no, I'm fine, like nothing happened, I just got hit in the face. But my best friend saved me and made me stop cheering and to go get my nose checked out. To the hospital that night in Kansas, and it was not the best experience because I've never broken a bone and it's just kind of like a minute clinic. Like at night, it's not a real, like it's not a real, it's a hospital, but the staff isn't fully staffed. It's kind of just like if people come in sick or they're not fully qualified to do everything at night. And so when I broke my nose, the doctor that was checking it, he told my best friend that was with me in the hospital that most surgeons, or not surgeons, most doctors, if you break your nose, it's awful, but they could kind of like re-break it and put it back to where it's supposed to be, where you don't need surgery. But oh, I had to go get my x-ray, that's what it was. The doctor came in to my best friend and said, I am not qualified to fix her nose. I don't think that I should even try to, like, some people like re-break the nose. Doctor told my best friend like straight up, like, I am not qualified to do this. And I'm like, why are you here then? Like, why are you working at a hospital if you don't have the skills that every patient that could come in possibly you would need to help? And so I was just like, what? Like, why would you, I don't know, why would you even tell us that first? So nothing happened. I got my x-ray and I went home. And I was very lucky because I was babysitting a family while I was at school and the mom was a doctor. She was like an athletic training doctor, but she knew like her stuff. And so I told her about my nose breaking and she saved me. Like if I did not have her in my life and if I was not babysitting her kids, I don't know where I would be today. I would probably still have a broken nose, and if you wait too long, it won't heal. But she saved my life. So everything that the doctor said was like invalid. Like it just didn't matter. So everything that he said, I would send to her. So I sent her all my x-rays. I asked her for recommendations of doctors in Kansas because I had to get it like checked out or it would not be good. And so I asked her for help for everything. Go find a good doctor, which first of all, I had no money because I was a college student. And so I had to go to all these different doctors, getting x-rays, going to doctors. And mind you, this was the week of finals at my college. Not just any normal week, it was the week of finals. And I had to take a class that I struggled very hardly in last year and I had to retake it. So okay, little secret, I failed a class in college and I had to retake the course. So I was so stressed out because finals were coming and I had to pass this final. And then I break my nose. And you want to add another little, just bring it all in, bring all the fun in. I was dating this guy, which I don't ever really date people. Like I'm not, I don't know. I was shocked that I was in a relationship. I don't know, weird, fun fact. That's weird. but I was dating a guy, and that same weekend we broke up. So it was just lovely. I had a broken nose, my boyfriend broke up with me, and it was finals week, and I had to go to 5,000 doctors that were all far away because I was at a small school, and so all the doctors are over an hour away, and I had to do all of that and deal with all of that in a matter of 1 week. So welcome to my life. It was pretty much the week from hell, the worst week ever. So okay, back to my nose. So I was going to all these different doctors trying to figure out, should I have surgery in Kansas? Should I have surgery back home in Indiana, which isn't that trustworthy? I don't know, because we just moved to Indiana, so we had like no knowledge of doctors in Indiana. Or should we go back to New Jersey where I grew up, and then we had more doctors that we knew? So I ended up going back to New Jersey, which was very stressful in itself because the only time the surgeon could do my nose surgery was while I was still taking finals. And at my school, they're very strict. It's very, very hard to get finals moved last minute. You have to give them like a month in advance, and it's pretty much they will only let you move your finals if someone died in your family and you need to go to a funeral. Like if it's something like, oh, I want to go home because I just want to be home, like I want to move my finals, they won't let you do it. So for me, I was terrified that they would not let me move my finals. And so I did get them approved. I got to move all my finals up, which caused that week of hell because I had all my finals on the last day. So I have, like, our school has 4 days of finals. It's like Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And so I had all my hard finals on Tuesday, which would be really nice because then I could have all week to study. But no, since I had to move my finals up to go home and get my nose surgery, it was the worst week of my life. I did finish my finals and I figured out that I was gonna go back to New Jersey. So we moved. We didn't move anywhere. We went back to New Jersey. So my mom flew in to Jersey and I flew there too from Kansas. And we had to go to the surgeon's office first to get like the examination. So like the pre-op surgery appointment thing. So we had to go get it checked out, and then a few days later I had to go have surgery. So as you know, nose surgeries are very expensive, and if you don't know, New York and New Jersey, the price from like a nose surgery to New York and New Jersey is like here. It's so much more expensive, and so I did not want to have my surgery in New York or New Jersey because of the price, and I knew that it would be so much for my parents and I didn't want to make them go through that. But I did not trust Kansas or Indiana because we didn't know the surgeons, and it's your nose, like you don't want to mess up, like you want to be very safe and cautious. So it was hard to have an expensive surgery when you did not want to. And another downfall was the insurance that we had was only for New Jersey. It was like this special thing that we had insurance for my dad's work, and it was only for the state of New Jersey. And the one day I had to have surgery was the day that he was only doing surgeries in his New York office. So he had like 2 offices. He has New Jersey and New York. And the one day that he could do my surgery, it was in New York. So our insurance did not cover any of the surgery, which was insane. Like it was just very hard to realize, but my parents knew how important it was because you can't leave your nose broken. It can get really bad and you can get sick all the time. Like you have to fix your nose once you break it. You can't just leave it broken. The day of surgery was awful. I was not excited. My surgery was at like 6:30 a.m. because he squeezed me in before his normal clients. So I was very lucky to go, but it was in New York, so we had to travel to New York. I think it was like an hour and a half to get there. I couldn't eat. I was there at like 6:30 in the morning. It was freezing cold out. And my mom went with me because of the drugs. You can't just go to New York by yourself from New Jersey. I needed someone to come with me, so my mom came with me. And I have a very bad experience with surgeries. When I had my wisdom teeth removed, I had a horrible reaction. There is a video on my Facebook, but I haven't shared my Facebook with you guys. So if you guys want to see that and you want to see my video when my wisdom teeth came out, like it's one of those funny ones. It was crazy. So I already knew that with the anesthesia, I was gonna have a lot of problems, and just, I don't know, I hate having surgery. I guess, yeah, I did have surgery for that, but I hate having surgery, and so I already knew this was gonna be bad. And they put me in this room and they put an IV in my arm, and then they start putting medicine, so it's like a relaxer to like before they do the anesthesia to kind of get your body ready for it and just to relax and calm down. So they did that, and I think the worst thing that this surgery place could have done was, I was not like, I guess like knocked out yet by the time that I went into the room, and the operating room was so scary. I've never seen like an operating room, but it was like all you had was a metal slab, and that's where I laid, and then they had like all these huge machines of like things that I don't even know what kind of surgeries they do, but it was like so intimidating and so scary. And they're like, yeah, just like lay down, and I was like a freezing cold metal slab, mind you, like it was awful. And so I was already panicked by the time that I laid down, but then the anesthesia kicked right in and I was out. And then I woke up, and so similar to my wisdom teeth, whenever I get anesthesia, I cry. Like I do not cry as like on a day-to-day basis. I never cry, and so whenever anesthesia is put in me, I start crying, but I was trying so hard not to. So the weird thing about it was, once I woke up, I was still laying down, but they were like, it's okay, like just slowly wake up, like just take your time. And it took me a very long time to like just wake up. But I remember laying on the metal slab, like just laying there freezing to death, because all they give you is like, I think you wear like those gowns or whatever, and I was freezing cold, and I remember laying there shivering, and I was like, can I have a blanket? Like it was so hard for me to even ask, but I was freezing cold, and they were all like walking around doing stuff, like they paid no attention to me, which I think was pretty rude. But it was just so hard to like be there, and I was holding back crying because I was so cold, and my body just wanted to cry from the anesthesia. And finally they put me in a wheelchair, and I got to go to my mom, which was so much better because I got to put my warm clothes back on, and then I got to leave. So I'll insert some photos of what happened, like the surgery pre-op and after, but the recovery was awful, and I'll insert some photos of the cast that I had to wear. So I had to wear this cast for 3 weeks, and the first 3 or 4 days was awful because what they did was you had like the cast on your nose, and then they like stuffed things in your nose, and then they taped a piece under it, so like I know it's gross, the dripping would be caught by this cotton, and you could not breathe. And luckily they did fix, so I had a breathing problem before where I would mouth breathe, so now I don't mouth breathe. I can breathe out of my nose properly because they fixed all of that with the surgery. But having my nose covered, I had to breathe out of my mouth, so I got super sick because you have to sit up at night. Like, oh, that's another thing, you have to sit up when you sleep. And so since we just moved to Indiana, we had our house still in New Jersey, so we got to stay there, but we had no furniture. So all we had was my parents' bed and this one couch. And so think about having a surgery and not being able to be in the comfort of your own bed. I had to stay on this couch for like, I think we were there for a few days, like 4 or 5 days, and I had to sleep there every night on this couch. And so it was miserable, but it is good because it was a recliner, so my body was like up and elevated, which it was supposed to be, but it was still really uncomfortable and miserable. So we had to do that, and then I couldn't breathe, so I was breathing out of my mouth. I got super sick because my throat and my mouth couldn't handle like doing all the work. Like I needed my nose, but you couldn't use your nose yet, so that was really awful. Black eyes, like I had a black eye before when I got hit, and I had a black eye after once I got hit, but they do give you medicine for that. And it was actually funny, when I had a black eye at school from like the initial hit of being hit, I had to tell all my teachers beforehand because I was at a Catholic school, and so they're very cautious of like abuse and things like that. And so I had to email all my professors before, because, well, the thing is, like, I don't really talk to any of my professors, so if one day I would have shown up with a black eye, they would have no idea why, and they would freak out and probably like, I don't know, report it or something. So I had to email all my professors beforehand and say, hey, I broke my nose and cheer, like that's why I have a black eye, because I could have, like, things could have happened if they didn't realize like what happened to my nose. That is everything that I wanted to cover about breaking my nose. So yes, it is very painful. Yes, you do have to get surgery once you break your nose because it is not good for your nose to heal broken. Yes, it is very expensive. Mine was in the thousands, and without my insurance helping, it was very expensive. And yes, it is an awful recovery. you bruise really bad. You do get medicine, but my mom was cautious about which medicine she gave me, so I didn't have, I think I only took like Advil, or not Advil, like Tylenol strength. Like there were stronger medicines. I think there might be like a problem in New Jersey or New York because they weren't giving them out for any surgeries. So the only thing that I took was Tylenol strength, which, if you know, it's not that helpful when you break a bone. So it's just very weird. Like, that's another funny thing. So when I broke my nose, the doctors at the hospital in Kansas gave me, I think, like one of those strong medicines. I don't know any of the names, but one of the ones that are like people are afraid that you can get addicted to, you know? And so they gave me that when I broke my nose. But then after I had surgery, which is way more painful, they gave me Tylenol strength. I was like, what? I was like, how does this, like, this is way more painful than like the initial break, and you're gonna give me Tylenol strength. So it was just very strange. But yeah, you do bruise. I think like you can definitely, I can feel like my new bones. So that's another thing too. When they did the x-ray, they found out later on that I shattered all the bones in my nose. So my entire nose was shattered. And now it's been about a year, and a little over a year, and I can still feel they rebuilt my nose, because like this part of my nose I can feel like sticks out a little bit more because it's still kind of healing into place. But I can definitely feel like how they fixed it, and they gave me a new I don't know, whatever this is. They rebuilt it for me with new bones, because this entire part of my nose was shattered. So yeah, that is my story about breaking my nose. I hope this helped you guys, and just even just to get to know me better of like how I dealt with breaking my nose and the pain and the emotions that I went through. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm not daily vlogging anymore. I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.